Hello YouTube, and welcome to layout update 10. We've finally got to 10, and we've finally caught up with everything. So I've started doing updates more regularly at last, and for once I've not got mountains of stuff to show you. Now firstly, you'll notice all the buses are parked in the wrong place around Rutland Station. And I've been saying for a while that I was going to move out the toy heritage bus fleet and buy some proper models, such as the Clydeside one in the middle here. And basically that's what I've just started to do. Now all of these were parked over there, and I've just moved them over here to put them out of the way basically at the moment. So unfortunately these three route masters and the Matchbox DMS will be going. The Clydeside one, as I said, is a model and will stay. The little green one over there will also be going. And as I just said, it will be, all of these, apart from the Clydeside one, will be being replaced with probably EFE models of RFs, RTs, route masters. So it'll be a London-based sort of heritage fleet, bus fleet, to go with the Heritage Railway. So my aim is to get them for under £5. I don't want them in boxes or anything. The rally season has now started, so they sell cheapest. Their cheapest price is around £5–6, unboxed, just in a, for some of the older models, unboxed in the tray or something on the stall. So I'm looking for that sort of thing now, and hopefully we'll be able to build the bus fleet back up and we'll get them running around all these roads again. So just behind the buses now, the camera is literally sitting where the buses just were, in the road, and I'm filming the signal box, the old Triang signal box, which is there. Getting shot, there we go. The old Triang signal box that I said in the last update I would redo the roof for. Now it's not glued on yet, it's not finished yet even, so I've not got as far with this as I would like to, but I have covered it with not brick paper, tile paper I guess you call it, and I need to put on all the edgings and stuff, and then I don't know if I will glue it on or not, but it's starting to look good. And I'm going to make a chimney for it as well. No idea how I'm going to do that, but I'm just, yeah, that's my plan, and I'll work out how I'm doing it when I get there. So the last thing here then on the Rutland side of the layout is on this station, and I've said in a video just a few videos ago, I said I would be redoing the station building. So yeah, that's missing, and I'm starting on that, and when that comes back, I'll be doing a little series on that showing you what I'm doing, and when that comes back I'll put that in my layout update and it should look really good, hopefully. So hopefully that won't drag on as long as this halt has. You remember there was a station halt there, and that's been gone for nearly a year now, so need to get on with my redoing of buildings, but when I do, this station will look really nice. Over on Millington, if you don't know my layout, there's the buses, so we've just come across the main line, and I've been ballasting on the main line. I've been at it again, and the main lines now then are completely ballasted apart from the points there, I just need to get this little point, trying to reach all the way across. I need to get a new one of that, and then I'll be happy to ballast that. But that's quite an old point, and if I ballast it, it'll go wrong. Just sort of law, that'll go wrong as soon as I ballast it. So I'm going to get a new point, because that one's about 20 years old and second hand or something. So yeah, this is the normal stuff, 50/50 glue and water. You've heard it all before. And then I put a load of grass in the middle, and I've added this embankment in. Which is also all the random stuff not random at all the rubbish you've heard before. So I do it with polystyrene, papier-mâché and grass mat. If you wonder more into that, go look on my RM webpage. So I'll put a link to that in the description. If you're wondering what this is, that's just actually the glue's probably set by now. I'm just gluing in the whistle sign for the tunnel, and the same with this over here. Nope, that glue's not set. But yeah, so we'll come back to those glue things later on because that's something else I'll be doing. But if we come up, then we've got more roads. So I've repainted the roads again. Yeah, you're probably bored of hearing this by now. Right. Basically, look, if you look at this, I think this is done. I'm happy with this. I've got different sections to look like it's been resurfaced at times. It's all nicely welded up, so it's had sandpaper gone around it, and then a bit of black weathering powder. And we have a little jump cut. You can see what you can just about make out on camera. It's a bit more obvious in real life. That around the edges of the different shades of grey to make it look like different resurfaced. We've got a little black squiggly line-ish thing. And that is to look like tar. So if I manage to focus this, right, dodgy camera work, yes, I know. Bear with. So if you look at the edge of different resurfaced sections, quite often they'll put a bit of tar in the gap just to sort of join it up, make the tarmac stick together, and that's what I've tried to recreate there. So over with the rubbish little roundabout, that will be having a new one made. It's roughly the same, and then the traffic islands, if I can get them in shot, yeah, they'll be finished off at one point, and the gap between them, I forgot to mention, it's going to be a little crossing going across the road. Anyway, so we come back now, and I'll go back onto macro mode. I'm really bad at this right now. Hold on. Right, I've got a slightly better grasp of the tripod. Now, I've glued in these walls at last, and you can probably see, in fact you can see, if I can hold the camera still long enough, the walls are glued in, and I've just put a bit of gravel and stuff along the bottom of them, and foliage growing up the wall and stuff. Still need to do a couple of tufts of grass and stuff growing on the wall, like I did right over here where there's no light, but with these walls, which is over by the lake, you'll remember that a few updates ago, I just put a few tufts of grass along the top, and it sort of helped weather it a bit. So the gate right there is only blue sides at the moment, and it's got a gap either end for some fence posts that will go in at some point. And if the dodgy camera work can move the camera around, you'll see I've also put gravel along the bottom of the fence. I've actually hammered 2 holes into the baseboard, and glued each end of the fence into that. So the fence is properly in the baseboard now, because I'm fed up of it breaking off and then having to re-glue it. So that's properly on there, and hopefully will never break off again. Same for the other bit of fence on the other side. That just needs a bit more grass and stuff in here, I think. But yeah, so there will be a bit of fence to go in this gap at some point. I did have it. It was all cut to the right lengths, but the burrowers have nicked it. So not sure where it's gone, but I'll find it somewhere. It's probably gone over the back of the baseboard over there, and that means it's a lot of crawling down under there. So I'll find it, but yeah, it's not the most pleasant job to try and find it. So right, I've given up trying to hold the camera, and hooray, I hear you cry, for we don't have to see shots like that anymore. So if once again, if you're just lost on my layout, where we just were was, oh no, he's holding the camera again. That's where we just were. We've literally come over the other side of Millington, and these roads haven't been repainted for once. So yeah, I'm fine. As I said, I was happy with these roads, and I actually kept to that. So nothing here has changed at all. There's just a massive lamp in the way, and some of the vehicles have moved around, but I won't go into that. Where the buses were, oh god, he's holding the camera. Where the buses were, which is this area, as you can see, the road comes in, and then we're in this funny sort of triangle here. I've bought the water tower back. Now this is one of those water towers. Really not actually that old, but fairly old. Should we say, what, 2-3 years? Not actually old at all, is it? But for this layout, I guess it's fairly old, I don't know. I think it's the same age as the goods shed, if a word comes into my head. And what I've been doing to it, as you can see, it's one of the Hornby track mat ones. And basically what I've done to it is on the top I've taken off that horrible wooden sticker, and I've put strips of plastic card across and painted it, and that looks okay. I think I'll put some rust on there, and I might make it the same colour as that, I don't know. I thought it would look better in grey than it actually does. But the main thing I've done is I've taken the sticker off the side, and you can see I've scratched some actual stonework into it. Now I've scratched that off of here, and then peeled off each stone one by one, which was very tedious. But I think we got the effect in the end. As you can see, it's been painted and will be weathered a little more. Because as you can see on this side, we've got sort of water and rust coming down in the water on the side of it. So I'll be doing some stains like that on this. But yeah, I think it looks pretty decent at the moment. And I'll be doing all sides, obviously. This is just a test side, and that window will be going back in. So yeah, the window's upstairs somewhere. As you've probably worked out by now, I am rather good at losing stuff. But yeah, well, I have been tidying up. If we go round, that is the top of the 1900s TV that goes back a couple of miles, and you see it disappearing off in the horizon over there. All we've got on top here is the building, which literally there, and I've just moved it to film because it was in the way. So yeah, I have been tidying up. I do tidy up. Believe it or not, I actually don't like mess, which you wouldn't believe looking at this. You can see all my instruments of torture laid out here. But anyway, so back to what we're meant to be going on about. I'll move the lamp so we can see what we're doing, and I'll move the camera a little bit closer so we get a decent shot. These are little water tanks. Now they're actually corgi ones that go on the back of this Eddie Stobart truck. As you can see, it is corgi, and if you look at the amazing detail going down to the differential on this truck, you can tell it's a toy. So I've not done this for years. Somehow the back comes off, and you can either put this back on it, which is my little container, which has been over there for donkeys years, or I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. That comes off. God, I've not done that in a very long time. And you can swap them over, and you can see this has got the same little clip on the bottom, and you can have it just like this, and these slide onto it, or they did before I painted it. Yep, they still do. These just slide on, and I don't know if they're meant to be hay bales or something. They were bright yellow, same yellow as those two trucks in the background, and yeah, I didn't like them yellow. So what I've done is I primed them, and I've painted them, well, blue, as you can see, and they're now water tanks. So I'm going to have them here, and as you can see, they've been weathered to some extent. I might weather them a little more. We've got some water runs there, which I've just done in white to look like limescale. I'll probably go over that with some grime and stuff, make it look worse. But yeah, we have weathered them up. You can see in all the joints it's nice and black and horrible, and they've been there for a long time. One of them, that side actually, that side went way over the top, and that's got black all over it, which isn't really coming up on camera, but to the eye this side's quite blue and this side's sort of a patchwork black, which is very faint on the camera. It looks just as blue. So the camera never lies, but there you go. So I've just these are all blue with, you actually see corgi, with the bases I've just painted in aluminium, which looks like a nice sort of stainless steel, I don't know. So my plan is I'll link them up with some black wire, and it'll look like a sort of hose pipe, and then ignoring the wonky one of them, I'll glue it upright one day. I'm going to have one of those speed humps. If you know those speed humps that go across roads that you can have wires or hose pipes that go under, so I'm going to have one of them going across here. It might even be a black and yellow one like this. It was a really old one that I made when I had no idea how to make something like this, basically. But you remember when I widened the road, this wasn't wide enough, so hence I took it out. So I might make another one like that, because you know the black and yellow speed humps you get around the place. And that'll come across here, and it'll go round, possibly through the engine shed, possibly behind it, and go round to the water tower. Not water tower. What do you call these? I don't know. Ooh, that's a water tower. That's a water tower, and that is a... I don't know. Forgotten the name, but right, comment below. Someone tell me, please. Because I've managed to forget it already. But, water column. Is it a water column? Something like that. Right, yeah, so that goes there. And it's going to look like that's a temporary thing just to get water to there. Meanwhile, this is, I don't know, in refit or something. Someone's rebuilding it. So I'm going to make this water tower over here look really sort of run down, hopefully. So on the goods shed over there, you can just see the roof for. That one. That building there. That one. Not that one. That one. That is going to be getting the same sort of stone effect as I've done on this. Because I'm fairly pleased with this, so I'll be scoring it more deeply and getting a nicer, more clear stone effect, but yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing with that as well. So they're not going to be a horrible sticker sort of stone effect. Hopefully it'll be an improvement, but you never know with my skills or lack of them. But yeah, so hopefully before Christmas, I know that's a long way off, but one day that will be stone Ned too. So also in this yard, if I remove all the stuff, we've been adding more ballast. So as you can see, there's now a nice sort of spread of ballast and muck all over the place, whereas before it was all very tidy and the ballast sort of just ended here. So it's spread it out. It's all been weathered-ish to different degrees. It's had grass added all over the place, and now I think it looks quite good. So we've got the old vintage bus undergoing restoration, just sort of sitting in the corner there, and they're using, as always, their restored crane and truck. In fact, I know what truck that is. It's a Mammoth, AC Mammoth. Tell me what type of crane is, because that's is it a Bedford? It's an RAF crane. It's one of the Airfix kits, actually. My dad repainted it. So yeah, anyway, they were just using the crane to offload some brand new wheels they've bought, to put on something that they're restoring in the yard. So that's all for this update. As I said at the beginning, it's quite a short one. All I've managed to break this update is a Mini, which is in several pieces on the floor, but Yeah, so nice short update at last. So thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe. There should be an LMS Gala just out or about to come out as my next video, so look out for that, and I'll see you all again soon, so bye.